Hello. I'm not sure why this video appeared in front of you. Maybe you're sitting in your living room remote in hand, and lately, your legs just don't feel as steady as they used to. Or maybe you woke up this morning and had to grab the edge of the bed just to stand up safely. Or perhaps you weren't planning to watch anything at all, but something about this title made you pause, and now you're wondering, why are my legs getting weaker even though I eat regularly? Why does that first step every morning feel like I'm lifting a stone? Does aging mean I have to accept pain with no clear reason? If you've ever asked yourself questions like these, then this isn't just a video. This might be the answer you've been searching for. Because here's the truth most people won't tell you. The weakening of your legs doesn't start with age. It starts with something much smaller. A simple choice you repeat each morning thinking it's harmless. In this video, I'll help you. Take a closer look at one common food, something many believe is healthy, but actually disrupts the connection between your brain and leg muscles. Hear the real-life story of Carol, who once relied on a walker and thought she'd never walk normally again. Understand the science behind how just one small change in your morning routine can help your muscles respond within just 12 hours. And finally, I'll share a powerful secret that has helped hundreds of older adults regain strength without surgery, without heavy painkillers. This is not a sales pitch. There's no magic food. There is only the right understanding and the right action taken at the right time. If you still believe your legs deserve one more chance to grow strong again, then stay with me until the very end. Because what you need to know might just be in the final part most people will skip. If this is your first time watching my video, don't forget to give it a like, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Your support truly means the world to us. And if you find this video helpful after watching it, please consider sharing it with your friends and loved ones. We deeply appreciate it. The story of Mrs. Carroll in Kentucky. Mrs. Carroll lived in a small town nestled in the Appalachian region of southern Kentucky, a peaceful place where little homes dotted the hills and autumn leaves blanketed the porch in golden stillness. She was 73 years old, a retired elementary school teacher. Her cozy wooden house once echoed with children's laughter and the warm scent of baked apple pie. Now it was quiet, only the ticking clock and the soft hum of classical music on morning radio. She kept her old routine, waking early, brewing tea, reading, and walking around her garden. Everything seemed fine until one winter morning last year. That morning she got out of bed as usual, but the moment her feet touched the floor, her knees buckled. Not because she slipped, but because her legs no longer felt like her own. They wouldn't respond. There was no sharp pain, just a strange weakness, as if someone had silently drained the strength from her knees while she slept. She thought, maybe it's just the cold. She rested a bit, then slowly walked to the kitchen. But inside, something stirred, a quiet unease. In the days that followed, it happened again. No fall, no clear pain. But each morning she had to grip the edge of the bed to stand. Every step up the porch stairs made her knees tremble like loose strings on a guitar. She began to worry, but she told no one. Didn't go to the doctor either. After all, who sees a doctor just because their legs feel a little weak? One afternoon, her granddaughter Emily came by. "Grandma, want to take a walk in the park with me?" the girl asked excitedly. Carol smiled and nodded. But not even 200 steps in, she had to sit on a bench. Not from fatigue, but because every step felt like someone had placed a stone on her knees. At that moment, she felt like an old tree, its roots no longer clinging to the earth. She told her granddaughter, "Grandma's back hurts a bit today." But deep down, she knew she was losing something precious, the freedom to walk. A friend of hers, Ruth, had once mentioned that certain foods help rebuild muscle. So Mrs. Carroll went online, read articles, watch videos. She started taking calcium, vitamin D3, ate more bananas, drank milk, ate oats, eggs. She did everything the book suggested, and after nearly 3 weeks, her legs felt slightly better. She could walk farther, less trembling. She was thrilled. In the 4th week, she went grocery shopping with a neighbor, but on the way back to the car, she fell. Not because she slipped, but because her legs could no longer support her weight. Her ankle swelled. Her knee turned purple with bruises. The physical pain wasn't as bad as the emotional blow, as a nurse had to wheel her into the emergency room. She would never forget what the nurse said. At your age, one fall can change the rest of your life. In the days that followed, she stopped waking up early, stopped brewing tea, left meals cold on the table, turned down invitations to the park. "I'm not feeling well" became her go-to phrase, but the truth was, she was afraid. Afraid she'd never be able to get up again. Afraid of becoming dependent on others. Afraid of being forgotten like a dim lamp about to go out. One evening, she was lying on the couch watching YouTube to pass time when a video popped up. It was about restoring leg strength. She clicked expecting nothing. But then the speaker said something that stopped her cold. A common breakfast food could be disrupting the signals between your brain and muscles, making it impossible to recover muscle even with enough protein. She froze. She had been eating that food for 15 years, every morning. The next morning, she removed that food from her breakfast. Instead, she had a glass of warm water, a small bowl of cottage cheese, a spoonful of collagen stirred into her tea, a handful of tart cherries. Nothing fancy, but that morning her legs felt a bit lighter, just a little, as if something had been released from her knees. Day 3, no noticeable change. Day 4, the aches returned. She almost gave up, thought maybe it's not for me. But this time she didn't quit. She remembered a line from the video, "Your body needs time." Not all foods work on day 1, but if you stay consistent, it will respond. So she stayed the course. Week 2, from a small change. That morning she opened her eyes, sat up, then stood. No need to grab the edge of the bed. She walked to the window, pulled back the curtain. The sun was soft. The fields in the distance were covered in a mist like a downy blanket, and she stood there on her own 2 feet. She laughed, a soft laugh, then sat down and cried like a child, uncovering the culprit. The food that makes your muscles stop listening. What happens when your body has enough protein, but your muscles still shrink? It sounds unbelievable, but this is the reality for millions of older adults. You eat well, you take your vitamins, you walk every day, and yet you still feel yourself getting weaker with each passing day. The answer lies in something very small, but it determines everything: the signal between your brain and your muscles. If the brain can't send a clear message to your muscles, then no matter how much protein you eat, the muscles can't hear it. They don't respond. They don't rebuild. Imagine it like this. You live in a house with beautiful lights and a full electrical system, but the circuit breaker is broken. No matter how many times you flip the switch, nothing lights up. Your body works the same way. Your muscles are still there. But if the nerve signals are disrupted or blocked, those muscles can't function properly. This leads to weakness, leg cramps, poor balance, and eventually dangerous falls. And here's the silent culprit: highly refined carbohydrates, especially at breakfast. Some common breakfast foods include white bread, boxed cereals, crackers, rice cakes, packaged muffins and instant pancakes, jam-filled sandwiches. These may seem harmless, low in fat, easy to digest, but in reality they cause sharp spikes in blood sugar, which leads to inflammation in nerve tissues, damage to the myelin sheath that protects your nerves, blurring of the signals between your brain and muscles. The result: even if you eat protein and take your vitamins, your muscles still don't recover because your brain can't properly send signals to them. According to a study by Harvard Medical School, when older adults consume refined carbohydrates in the morning, blood sugar rises above 140 mg/dL within 30 minutes. Pro-inflammatory cytokines in the nervous system double. Communication between spinal nerves and muscles drops by 23% within just 2 hours. Now imagine eating those foods every day. After 6 months, what do you think your legs will feel like? Removing them isn't enough. You need to replace them. It's not enough to simply stop eating white bread. You need to replace it with foods that can repair your nervous system, restore muscle response, and strengthen signal transmission. We'll explain exactly how to do that in the next section. But first, let's take a closer look at the hidden damage caused by these familiar breakfast foods. They appear ideal at first glance: convenient, affordable, easy to chew, and simple to prepare, a seemingly perfect fit for the slower pace of life in older age. That's also why many people over 60 consume them daily, because they're familiar, soft, and have become a routine over the years. But behind that convenience lies a serious risk. These foods cause a rapid rise in blood sugar. This spike inflames the inner lining of the nervous system and damages the myelin sheath. The protective insulation around nerve fibers helps signals travel smoothly from your brain to your muscles. Once the myelin is damaged, those signals become scrambled or blocked. And when that happens, your muscles no longer respond properly, even if they're getting the nutrients they need. Even more concerning is the timing of consumption. Eating refined carbs in the morning on an empty stomach creates the worst impact. That's when blood sugar is most unstable and your nervous system is most vulnerable. This shock to the system can disrupt nerve-muscle communication from the very start of the day. That's why medical experts strongly recommend that people over 60, especially those experiencing muscle weakness or with a history of diabetes, limit refined carbohydrates in the morning. If they must be consumed, the safe limit should not exceed 15 grams of refined carbs per meal in order to reduce the risk of signal disruption between the brain and muscles. Foods that help restore muscle strength. In just 12 hours, rebooting the signal between the brain and muscle. Once you've removed the foods that disrupt your nerve signals, the next step is to rebuild the connection. In other words, you need to reignite the signal from the brain to every muscle fiber, provide the raw materials to rebuild damaged nerve and muscle tissues, create the right biological conditions for overnight recovery. And to do that, you don't need medication or expensive devices. All you need are 4 key food groups, the right type, the right amount, at the right time. 1. Casein, the slow cement that rebuilds muscles overnight. Casein is a slow-digesting protein found in cottage cheese, plain Greek yogurt, certain protein powders formulated for older adults. Benefits: provides a steady stream of amino acids for 6 to 8 hours overnight. Rich in leucine, an amino acid that triggers muscle building. Helps prevent muscle breakdown during sleep, when your body is at rest. Note: casein is not way it works slowly but steadily. Do not consume it right before bed. Instead, take it 30-60 minutes before sleeping. Suggested intake: 1 small bowl of cottage cheese, about 100-150 green, or 1 scoop of casein powder, about 30 green protein. 2. Tart cherry reduces inflammation, supports the nerve signals. Tart cherries or sour cherries rich in anthocyanins and natural melatonin. Benefits: reduces nerve inflammation and oxidative stress, improves deep sleep, the stage when most repair takes place, provides natural melatonin supports, circadian rhythm and sleep cycles. Research: a study in the Scandinavian Journal of Medicine found that people who drank tart cherry juice before bed experienced significantly reduced muscle breakdown after 2 weeks. Suggested intake: 1/4 cup of concentrated tart cherry juice, 2 Oz, 60 ml, or 8-10 tart cherries, fresh or soaked if available. 3. Magnesium, the key to over 300 regenerative processes. Magnesium is one of the most commonly deficient minerals in older adults, affecting nerve function, muscle relaxation and contraction, protein synthesis and cellular energy. Benefits: activates repair enzymes, calms the nervous system, improves sleep, boosts muscle recovery, reduces cramps and improves muscle response. Food sources: steamed spinach, kale, broccoli, almonds. Suggested intake: 1 cup of steamed leafy greens provides 35 to 40% of daily magnesium needs. For supplements, choose magnesium glycinate or citrate, 150-200 mg before bedtime. 4. Collagen reconnects muscles, tendons, and ligaments. Collagen is a structural protein found in tendons, muscles, joints, muscle membranes, and nerve sheaths. The digestive lining important for nutrient absorption. Benefits: helps rebuild connective tissue, the anchor between muscle and bone. Reduces joint pain and improves flexibility in knees and ankles. Restores the feeling of stability and balance while standing or walking. Food sources: bone broth, pure collagen peptide powder. Suggested intake: 1 cup of homemade bone broth in the evening, or 1 scoop of collagen powder, 10 ghee mixed with warm water, 30 to 60 minutes before bed. The power is in the combination. Each of these foods is effective on its own, But when combined properly, they create a synergistic effect. Casein nourishes muscles overnight. Tart cherry reduces inflammation and improves sleep. Magnesium triggers the body's repair systems. Collagen strengthens the muscle skeletal foundation. When taken at the right time, about 30 to 60 minutes before bedtime, they turn your sleep hours into a full body muscle recovery clinic. All healing begins with habit. Most seniors think that to regain their health, they need to start with a big plan. But the truth is the opposite. Real change often begins with something very small. Like Mrs. Carroll in the story you heard earlier, who regained the strength in her legs once thought gone forever, just by changing her evening snack. All it takes is about 15 to 30 minutes before bedtime to prepare a simple, nourishing snack that supports recovery. Start with a small bowl of cottage cheese or plain Greek yogurt to provide slow-digesting casein protein. Add about 4 cups of tart cherry juice or 8-10 soaked tart cherries to support deep sleep and reduce nerve inflammation. Include magnesium with a small bowl of steamed spinach, or if easier, a light 150 millimolar dose of magnesium glycinate. Finally, mix 1 scoop, about 10 Gruyere of collagen peptides, into a warm cup of water, stir gently, and sip it like a relaxing ritual before bed. This should all be consumed 30 to 60 minutes before going to bed, so your body has time to digest and absorb these nutrients right when your deepest healing sleep begins. Turning it into habit, easier than you think. A few tips to stay consistent. Link it to an existing habit, for example. Prepare your tray right after brushing your teeth. Keep the ingredients visible and organized on the kitchen counter. Use your favorite mug or bowl. Make it feel like self-care time, not medicine time. If you go to bed earlier or later than usual, just stick to this principle: light meal, nutrient-rich, not too close to bedtime. It's not just muscle recovery, it's mental restoration too. As Carol shared, I didn't just feel steadier on my feet. I felt like myself again. Waking up without bracing yourself, taking a step without hesitation, standing without gripping the bedpost. It's not magic. It's the result of much proper nourishment. Brain muscle signals restored. Muscles being allowed to rest and repair while you sleep. How long until you see results? Time frame: common changes days 1 to 3, deeper sleep, less morning fatigue. Week 1, fewer cramps or shaky legs in the morning. Weeks 2 to 3, more stable walking, improved leg strength. Month 1 to 2, noticeably easier shopping trips. Stairs: less need for assistance. Each person's recovery timeline is unique, but one truth remains: those who stay consistent see results. Recovery journal, 1 page a day. A very helpful tip is writing down 3 short reflections every evening after your bedtime snack. How do my legs feel today? Any shaking, soreness, or pain? Did I sleep better than the night before? After 2 to 3 weeks, when you look back, you'll start to see subtle signs of healing, ones that are easy to miss if you're only relying on memory. A special Sunday morning. Carol recalled that morning like it was yesterday. It was a Sunday, just like any other morning, and yet unlike any morning before. She woke up at 6:30, no alarm, no heaviness in her calves. She sat up and this time didn't need to grab the bed frame. She placed her feet on the floor, stood tall, no shaking, no wobbling. I don't know how to describe that feeling, she said. All I know is for the first time in months, I walked like my legs had finally come back to me. Walking light and full of meaning, she opened the door and walked along the narrow path beside her white fence. A soft breeze blew dry leaves across her ankles. The sun touched the crown of her head, not harsh, just enough to remind her she was alive in that moment. No more thoughts of bad knees, no more fear of falling, no more tension with every step. Just motion, steady light, and truly free. And this is the secret this video wanted to share with you. Not a magic pill, not a rigid diet, not a grueling workout that drains your energy, but this realization: you still have the power to change how your body ages. Age doesn't steal your muscles, habits do. And just one small change at the right time can change the entire direction of your journey. When you begin to understand and cooperate with your body, Carol once said something I'll never forget: I stopped fighting aging. I started walking with it. She no longer saw anti-inflammatory foods, nutrients, or collagen as foreign things, but as companions like solid ground beneath her steps. You can do this too. Maybe you're watching this from a familiar room. Maybe you've taken medications, read articles, tried to exercise, yet nothing seems to work. But you still have something precious. You still have hope, and you still have a choice. One small step today. If you've made it this far in the video, pick just one small change to try. Swap your dessert for a cup of bone broth tonight. Trade your slice of white bread for a spoon of cottage cheese. Choose a handful of tart cherries instead of a sugary treat. Take 1 minute to jot down how your legs feel in the morning. Just start, stay consistent. And one day you'll wake up, step off your bed, and realize I'm back. On my own 2 feet. A gentle message before we end. If this video spoke to you or to someone you love, please share it. You never know, one small share could change someone's life. And if what I shared today felt meaningful, please leave a comment or subscribe. It's the only way I know I'm not speaking into the void. To close, I want to remind you of one thing. Aging is not the end. It's an invitation to slow down, listen more deeply, and care for yourself with the love, wisdom, and patience you truly deserve. If you're still here, thank you, sincerely. Because what you've done isn't just watch a video. You've taken time to listen to yourself. And if something I said today made you think or inspired you to try just one small change, then I believe you're ready for a better path forward. Leave a comment below. Tell me, where are you in your journey to stronger legs? What have you tried? What worries you most? Share this video with a friend or a loved one, someone you know is quietly struggling with weakening legs. Your one small share could open a door of hope for someone else. And if you'd like to continue these journeys with me, tap the subscribe button and turn on notifications. Each week we'll meet again with gentle, clear, and hope-filled messages for better aging. Because your body isn't asking for much. It's simply waiting for you to care for it the right way. Thank you for staying with me. And if you begin today, I believe that someday soon you will be the one telling the story.